All right, 7th grade. We are working on lesson 6.2. So this is about the percent proportion. Okay, so you need to do your warm-ups real quick. So you're writing me an inequality. That means you're going to have a greater than or equal to sign. Okay? Let me go see how you're doing. So, with the percent proportion, when you hear proportion, think ratio or fraction. So you're just writing a ratio. You can represent A is P percent of W with the proportion. A over W equals P over 100. So we're writing equivalent fractions here, guys. This is all you're doing. You've done this 100 times. So the question is the statement is where A is part of the whole. See how A over W equals P or percent over 100. So all that gibberish down here, let me explain it with the numbers. If I have 3 out of 4, and I write that as a ratio, 3 over 4, I can convert that to percentage. Okay? Most of you will know off the top of your head it's 75%. But if you write 3 over 4, you find the equivalent fraction over 100, and the top number is your percentage. Okay, so all you would do is write 3 over 4 and think, what times 4 gives me 100?
25.
25. So then if I did 25 times 3, that gives me 75. Any number over 100 can be converted to that number as a percent. Okay? That's all this is telling you. So let's go do an example. Example 1. Write this in your journals. So, what you're going to be doing is taking this sentence and turning it into a math problem. So, what percent? So we don't know what percent, so we're going to put a variable here. Of, what does of mean mathematically? Multiply. 15 is, what does is mean mathematically? Equals 12. So I would write this, what percent of 15 is 12. So percent we don't know, and then part A is 12, and part B is 15, or W, the whole. So you're going to plug that in. 12 over 15, because 15 is the whole, equals what percent, or P, out of 100. Now can I solve for P here?
Yes.
What would I do? Cross, multiply, and divide, right?
Yes.
12 times 100 divided by 15?
Oh.
Yeah, you will see that forever in your lifetime. Cross, multiply, divide. So P equals? 80. Okay, now 80, change that to a percentage, would be? 80%. So 80% of 15 is 12. So if they ask you what percentage of 15 is the number 12, you would say 80%.
Okay.
Any questions? If you wanted to check it, you could sketch the model out. And it goes by threes. Okay, so go do your try-its. 1 and 2. Example 2, 7th grade. Put this in your journals.
Yes, ma'am.
What number is 0.5% of 200? Okay, so we need to write this into an equation and be able to solve it. Okay? So we're going to use the percent proportion. So, do we know A, W, or P? We know some of these, yes.
You know A.
I don't know you.
We know W, the whole, which is 200. Do we know A?
Yes.
0.5.
This is A,
Percent, okay.
so that goes where P is,
Oh.
right? You just need to change this to a decimal, not a percent, so it'd be 0.5. Write this in your journals. Yes, it is. Okay, once you have it written in your proportion, how would I solve for A?
Cross multiply and divide.
Yep. So 0.5 times 200 divided by 100. What do you get?
1.
Divided by 100.
1. I tried to do that. See, I told you.
I'm impressed.
My brain.
Excellent job. So 1 is 0.5% of 200.
Let's go.
Good job, Mac. Diego.
Yes.
Yeah, Matt.
Did that in his head.
You can eat your bread.
Okay, go do triads 3 and 4. Example 3.
Okay.
150% of what number is 30? So let's get our fraction, what's it called?
Fraction to decimal.
Percent proportion. Couldn't think of the word. Percent proportion, right? Your A over W equals P over 100.
Okay. W.
So what information do we know out of the 3 variables? Mac Diego?
Over 100, it's P, and
So what
A
number
is
am I
30.
what number am I putting for P?
150.
Very good. And then Izzy, what does 30 go for? A. Okay, so plug those in. 30 for the A and 150 for the P. Okay, cross multiply and divide. What do you get for W?
Big number.
Just me.
Go ahead.
2.
I believe you this time. Aw, 20. You forgot a 0.
Yep, it's 20.
30 times 100. Oh, because it's 3,000, not 300. That's probably what you did.
Yeah, I did 300.
3,000 divided by 150 gives you 20. So 150% of 20 would be 30. Makes sense, because 20 it needs to be smaller than the number, because this is over 100% of it.
Why is it?
Add a 0.
Huh?
Why is it 3,000?
30 times 100.
Oh.
So there's 3 zeros here. 1, 2, 3.
And then the 150 goes.
Into it. And then you can cross off one of the zeros, then it's 300 divided by 15, which is 20.
W.
Okay, go do your next set. All right, this is example 4, question mark? Yes, 4. The bar graph shows the strengths of tornadoes that occurred in a state in a recent year. What percent of the tornadoes were EF1s? So EF1s are right here. How many EF1s are there?
58.
58. So we need to find the percent. So do we know the part?
Yes.
What's our little equation?
58. Oh, it's 58.
58's the part.
100.
How many are there total? We would have to add up all of these tornadoes,
145.
which is 145. Good job on reading my screen. Okay, so write the percent proportion. What was the part?
100.
Nope. Part would be
58.
58, and the whole is?
145.
Now we can solve for P, right?
Yeah.
58 times 100 divided by 145.
Something.
Do it.
Yes. I'm sorry.
58. 40? Good job. So we have to, since it's a word problem, we have to answer this in words. 40 stands for what?
Alright.
No.
Percent.
Percent. So 40% of the tornadoes, I almost said tomatoes. 40% of tornadoes were EF1s.
Yep. It's a nice number.
Whoops. And it makes sense. If you look at this chart, a lot of them were EF1s. Almost half. Just by looking at the chart. Okay, make sure you finish your self-assessment. It is due Thursday, all the way through number 11.